Hi, my name's Lisa Wren. I'm an accredited practicing dietitian, and this is the second in a series of videos. In the first one, we talked about, do diets work? And I hope that you came to the conclusion that, yeah, you know what, they work to lose weight in the short term, but in the long term, it's not a good solution. So hopefully you've been starting to change the way you think when you think about healthy eating. So that leads us to, what is the perfect healthy diet? It's very tempting for people who have had a long diet history to go, okay, so I need to eat healthy. I need to make all healthy choices. I'm going to have a perfect healthy diet. It's not a diet, I'm just eating well. But then what we do is we forget to actually define what healthy eating is. So we have these really high expectations that we'll never make a mistake. So we're still kind of good or we're bad, and there's nothing in between there. Where in actual fact, healthy eating is not black and white. It's not good or bad. It's actually shades of grey, and you have this continuum of good decisions. So I did a parenting course once, and I was very pleased to hear that I don't have to be a perfect parent all the time. So it's the same with healthy eating. You don't have to be eating healthy all the time. And it's called the 80-20 rule. You may have heard of it before, but I'm very, very glad that I got this in the back of my mind re my parenting. But if you put it in place too for healthy eating, so that kind of means that 80% of the time you're making good food decisions, but there's this 20% of the time that allows for slip-ups, it allows for socialization, it allows for life to get in the way without actually impacting on the fact that you're still eating well. And in fact, I would argue that there is no perfect healthy eating, and certainly not a sustainable perfect healthy eating. So if you think about this in shades of grey and be putting in place this 80-20 rule for yourself, that as long as I'm making good decisions most of the time, I don't have to be perfect. And another thing I'm often asked as a dietitian when people said, right, I'm going to eat healthily, I'm not on a diet, but what's the best chocolate that I can eat? It's like, wow, that's an interesting question. And my response is, eat the one you like. What's your favorite? Why would you eat something that doesn't taste quite as good? So it's almost again like a punishment. So again, we're buying into that diet mentality. So a perfect healthy diet actually has planning as to when am I going to eat chocolate. So instead of, no, I just can't eat chocolate, or okay, I'll eat chocolate, but just have this brand that I don't really like. Again, it's not a sustainable way of doing things. So it is really important that a healthy diet has plans for when you will eat these foods that are probably less than healthy choices. But it's important that they're in there to build that sustainability factor in. The other thing that I think about diets that doesn't work, and that when you're thinking about healthy eating, that it's really a much better way of looking at things, is that if you have some realistic expectations about what you will achieve. Motivation is very low if you are told you've got to lose 30 or 40 kilograms. I mean, wow, you're looking at that mountain thinking, how am I ever going to start that? So I'll start at Monday, or maybe I'll start it next Monday, or perhaps even the one after that. So if your expectations are a little bit more realistic, and in fact what we know with research is that if you can lose 5 to 10% of your body weight, so if you're 100 kilos and you can get down to 90 or 95 and keep it there, then you are doing something clinically significant for your health. So you get health improvements, you will feel fitter, you'll have more energy. And certainly 5 to 10 kilos is a lot more realistic and a lot more doable. So then you're motivated to achieve that. So instead of thinking diets, and instead of thinking I've got to lose this much weight, how about thinking in terms of, hang on, what can I make, changes can I make today that is going to help me just step gradually towards where I want to be? Knowing that even though I may like to lose 30 or 40 kilos, I don't have to, because 10 kilos would be fantastic as well. And that helps a lot more with motivation. So I guess if you're not dieting, then what are you doing in regards to a perfect healthy diet? And in the next session, what we'll be talking about is how to actually plan meals and snacks, and how important is that in a healthy diet? Because I believe that planning is actually everything. In order to have things in place and to avoid these rebellious decisions that you make when you run out of time or you have no food, then this plan is in place to just help you make these decisions. 80% of the time you're making healthy decisions, and 20% of the time they're less than healthy decisions. But that's life, and that makes things sustainable. So for me, a perfect healthy diet is one that allows for life to happen. And it allows for the foods that you like to eat, that you enjoy eating, and that most of the time you're making good plans to have healthy food. So overall, you get a perfect healthy diet. So thanks for listening, and I hope that you come and listen again for the next installment. Thanks.